Hello, I'm Ina Sanjana from Shimadzu Corporation. In this webinar, I'll introduce examples of analytical workflows in a work-at-home environment that make use of Shimadzu's LabSolutions CS analysis network system. There are various challenges to be overcome in running an analytical measurement lab. For example, a lack of staff may mean that each employee's workload increases. At the same time, greater productivity and data reliability are required in tests and analysis. Of course, management always aims to minimize costs. Recently, increased efficiency in remote working has come into focus as a new demand. Because of the current coronavirus pandemic, it has become difficult or impossible for many workers to commute to the lab, and companies are increasingly recommended to let their employees work from home. In the case of software development or office work such as communicating by email, it's relatively simple to work from home with a PC without compromising on efficiency. However, lab analysis requires a particular work environment, making it difficult to implement remote work. Now I'm going to introduce the LabSolutions CS system, which is designed to support remote lab analysis. This diagram shows the basic configuration of the LabSolutions CS network system. The system consists of analytical instruments such as LC or GC. This diagram shows the basic configuration of the LabSolutions CS network system. The system consists of analytical instruments such as LC or GC, PCs to control these instruments, and a server to store data and results. The instruments, PCs, and servers are connected in a network. In a normal work scenario, the LCs or GCs are operated by a PC in the lab, and the data generated is automatically saved on the server. Data processing and report creation is also carried out from the PC in the lab. If you are using a standalone system, each LC or GC can only be operated from the PC it's directly connected to. But with LabSolutions CS, any PC in the lab can be used to operate all the LCs or GCs connected to the network. Moreover, as shown in the diagram, remote workers are able to connect to the LabSolutions CS lab network via a VPN and control the lab instruments via their PCs at home as client PCs. This works the same way as controlling the instruments from the PCs in the lab. Now I'll go on to explain what kind of things you can do with the LabSolutions CS system. When you're using LabSolutions CS on a PC at home, you can use exactly the same steps to check LC or GC status as you would for a PC in the lab. This means there's no confusion or learning curve when starting to work from home. In this case, if you use the Zen app terminal service from Citrix, it's possible to carry out analysis work without having analysis software such as LabSolutions installed. This is one of the key advantages of LabSolutions CS. You can start working from home with just a PC using the same steps as you're used to in the lab. When it comes to analysis, a worker commuting to the lab will need to carry out sample pretreatment and set the sample in place to begin analysis as normal. Once this setup is complete, remote workers will be able to monitor the analysis in real time from their homes, just as they would from PCs in the lab. Chromatograms are displayed in real time on the remote PCs. Of course, these remote workers are also able to stop the LC or GC analysis mid-run in case of emergencies. However, to avoid causing additional problems, it's recommended that workers in the lab should normally be the ones to carry out direct operations, such as pausing or restarting analysis. When using LabSolutions CS, data produced in the analysis is automatically saved to the server. For example, in the configuration pictured, both the LC and GC data would be saved to the server in the server room. Remote workers can access and search this data from their own PCs. They can also analyze data and create reports using the same steps as for a PC in the lab. The data analysis results and reports are automatically saved to the server. The data from all instruments is saved to the server, so remote workers can create reports based on data from any of these instruments and share them with all other lab members. LabSolutions CS also includes security features. Using these features, it's possible to limit which data can be used for data analysis, etc. For example, you can make it so that the remote worker 2 is not able to view or reanalyze data already analyzed by remote worker 1. This reduces the risk of mistakes, such as accidentally processing or altering another lab member's data. In addition, LabSolutions CS has a function to manage different versions of the data. Reanalyzed data is saved as a new version in a database rather than overwriting previous data. Finally, there's a function to forbid deletion of data, which prevents the data being deleted by accident. Lastly, with LabSolutions CS, data from instruments other than LCs and GCs, such as UV or FTIR instruments, can also be saved to the server. This data can be viewed and analyzed in the same way from both remote PCs and lab PCs. In all of these ways, the LabSolutions CS system supports work-at-home policies by enabling workers to monitor instruments, analyze data, and create reports at home just as they would in the lab. Thank you.